Hello, Sagittarius. This is your teen reading. I know you guys are out on a journey, wandering somewhere. When you get back, watch this video. Alright, I've already cut and shuffled all the decks, so let's get started. Eight of Pentacles reversed. Five of Wands reversed. So automatically, I just see you're not getting recognized. The Empress, first major arcana, upright. You don't feel very powerful or capable. And it's probably because of loss. King of Cups reversed. Feeling over emotional. Yeah. Knight of Cups is reversed too. So like no long-term intentions here. Somebody might be sexually promiscuous. So yeah, you're not being noticed, but you want recognition and rewards. I'm seeing something about education too. This is about education, teachers, students, oracles, prophets, and then we have the need to go back to school. Being an apprentice and not being able to compete. And then we have the Hierophant, which could be an organization, could be a workplace, a church, and it could also be a relationship. Okay, the next row. Justice reversed when it comes to the Eight of Pentacles reversed. So you feel it's an injustice that somebody's not recognizing you. Somebody may have shorted you some money, so you're not getting a reward that you think you're due. And I could see you as being very pissed off about it. This is the first... Oh, we do have a fire energy here. Okay. So you may have had some kind of bad judgment where you have to pay out, possibly in a court. Definitely see some imbalance here. Yeah, this is unbalanced. See a rejection. Also possibly not being able to be proud of your accomplishments. There's a lack of opportunities. And you don't accept yourself. Ace of Cups reversed. So again, I see another rejection. A lack of an offer. Eight of Wands reversed for the Empress. So again, I see messages not coming through. This could be over indulgence. And so could this. So you be drinking because you're not being recognized. Or if there is a drinking problem, it's making you unproductive. And because we have the Ace of Cups with the Empress nearby, I could see a pregnancy or a loss of pregnancy. Sometimes could be sabotaged intentions. You're working really hard and it's going nowhere because somebody might be sabotaging you. Or at least you feel that way. See, with the Hierophant, it's somebody in authority, or even with like the high law, which would be like a judge. You may feel like you have blocked expression. And this is the need for open dialogue, but the messages aren't getting through somehow. If you want to take it literally for a pregnancy, you're trying really hard and it's not happening. And you feel like it's a good and big injustice to you. And these are all the swimmers that aren't making it. This could also be the amount of times you've tried. And you're probably giving up hope. This also tells me you have a long delay. So I could see Wands are usually days. I don't think this is going to happen in 8 days. But we have a lot of imbalance, and yet the Temperance isn't here. Judgment. So we have a Judgment, Injustice, and the Hierophant. You could also see a lack of faith or a lack of forgiveness. You feel like giving up. And you're being very emotional about this. With the Eight of Pentacles Maybe somebody from the past is like rising from the dead to reconnect due to a karmic connection and they want to redo. In regards to work, there's going to be some kind of new work procedure. Maybe you feel like your opinion on it isn't being heard. Also see some kind of oath or some kind of study, which would be a contract or possibly a marriage. So somebody could be getting divorced. Because I do see loss of a contract and loss of a union. So you could have given up or lacked ambition, or you actually lost a job because they didn't see you for how wonderful you are. The Fool for the Knight of Cups. It's as if you're rejecting starting over. Like, oh, you don't want this new procedure. You don't want to go down that road. You're rejecting it. I'm not sure why you're represented by cups here, because that's what I'm seeing. So you must have water in your chart. With the Fool and Eight of Wands, I see a delay in travel. Possibly a delay in a judgment that would set you free. Or you're just afraid to go into the unknown. Especially if it's not a new work procedure, then it's just a new job. You're trying something new. And it does have some promise to it. So I would try this new project or even this new birth. Perhaps the work procedure could be IVF. Ooh, Three of Swords in regards to the Hierophant. You notice we have some threes here, right? Three people. So threes can indicate a third party. That could be why some of you are getting divorced, because this King of Cups is promiscuous. And somebody's going to get theirs. It comes out. It's revealed. And it looks like they didn't even try to hide it. And they become free once it comes out. Or somebody gets free. So that could be the heartbreak. Also, if there's been some miscarriages, I could see that as the third party causing heartbreak within a union. Or even causing you to lose some faith. Also seeing something having to do with politics. Like you don't like the politics in your workplace. I mean, who does, right? And so you might try to go out on your own and make some kind of a passion or hobby into your job. But you have to get some business education or religious education to do it. But hey, your dreams are always worth going after. And then this is somebody who's supposed to use their knowledge impartially, but they don't. They're very biased, so it's unjust. Sorry. Somebody in authority was unjust, possibly in letting you go. But I see you're going to get your freedom. You're going to expand, like possibly literally expand if you're pregnant. And also, you feel alienated from other people, like you're not getting along, even though you try really hard. And people just kind of give you harsh judgments because you're oblivious to something. Like you don't see it. Okay, bottom of the deck. Five of Cups. I knew we were going to see this because we had the Three of Swords. So this is sorrow, possibly over a third party, but just any kind of a tragedy. This is trying to get over it, but not quite yet. Sorry, that was a cat if you heard it. And perhaps you're not really giving it serious thought about this new procedure or this new idea that you have. You're just kind of thinking about it because you have other things to worry about. And then with Judgment and Knight of Cups diagonal, I'm seeing whatever the outcome is, it's going to be life-changing and permanent. And it has to do with pregnancy, possibly even a soulmate, but it's something really big. And children change your life. So sometimes the Hierophant is recompense. Like somebody's going to help you. Like they're going to pay you back for a trauma. And so if it's something life-altering like a pregnancy, perhaps you get recompense for some miscarriages you've had. And all you want to do is be carefree and adventurous. Let's get some clarifiers, because not everybody's going to be pregnant. I mean, obviously the guys will be pregnant. Three of Wands. I had a feeling that was going to come up. So I see a legal team that wasn't very strong, and they didn't get you all the money that you should have gotten, or they didn't defend you well enough and you had to pay out in a divorce. Could be child support. And it could be perhaps to get some justice, you need to join another job. See, I have a lot of isolation and alienation, and this could be saying you need to join a group. Because with the Hierophant, I see you want to belong to a happy group. It's like you can't for some reason. I also see the need to have some faith in the face of tragedy. And here you could be upset because, you know, people have died. This would have already happened though, okay? Don't come to me and be like, what? Who's dying? Three of Wands also talks about expansion, so we have 2 expansion cards. But I see the expansion is delayed, okay, because this should be expansion, but it's in reverse. I'm seeing that you're facing life, you're taking a scary step, possibly studying or doing some research. So it may not be going back to school, it may just be researching how to do something, like make your own business. I see the time is right to change, and that you're going to have to embrace the unpredictable and the unknown in order to do this. I see there's a need to prepare for possible job loss. You need to consider an opportunity after you've lost a job. It's like you don't see what's there for you. But the plans are already underway, or they need to be. Also, 3 of Wands says take a leap of faith. So I keep having all these cards talking about taking a scary step. I also see you expand through study, through travel, and through business. And with the 8 of Pentacles here, if you can do that, the 8 of Pentacles will turn upright and you will love your job. Right now you probably don't like it. You probably feel like you're at the wrong job and you hate it. But if you get some kind of expansion through studying or traveling, I can see loving your job. And the results are going to be better than you expected. You're going to get recognition. You're going to get rewards. The talent is unfolding. Your interests are unfolding. And your expression is coming out. It may be blocked, but it's going to come out. And funnily enough, we have no grace, and the very next card is grace. I also see the universe is going to intervene to open up the dialogue. So you also see unproductivity and then productivity and then unproductive. So it could be somebody isn't able to reproduce and it's affecting the home life and the income. So maybe be in denial about something. I'm also seeing there may be a lucrative deal coming up, some kind of good investment. I also could see, well, a bride. So if you didn't have a strong legal team, you could be having to pay out to an ex-wife. You might be drinking because of it. Okay, so justice again. That was clarifying this card. This time it's upright. So here I see being passive when it comes to forgiving. And this says don't be passive. Don't give up. Don't let, your hope, because it's a hope card, don't let your hope run out. Don't let it, pour out. Now we have injustice or no grace, then grace and grace. Ooh, the devil. So we do have a temptation card, some kind of addiction. So there's a need to differentiate between what you desire and what you need, like what's good for you and what's not good for you. And I do see some kind of addictive personality here. Somebody is into alcoholism. They need to go to some kind of therapy group for alcohol addiction, like AA, and talk about a tragedy which has caused you to drink in the first place. Don't be like my sister, who went into a psych ward to get some counseling and never once talked about what sent her in there. And that's crazy. That's the whole reason you're in there, you know? I'm not saying you're going to a psych ward. Of course, that could be a hospital. Some of you be having heart surgery or some kind of surgery and some kind of new procedure, and you're scared. Like, scared you might die. We'll pull some cards to find out, because right now I don't see an outcome for that. Okay, so stay tuned. And with the Three of Swords, it could be not necessarily that you were denying it, but you were just waiting. You weren't oblivious, you were waiting. You didn't want to go. So there could be some kind of heart problems. But I'm no doctor. And then with Three of Wands, I see material success. But I don't pull these in reverse, so it could be a lack of material success, because I do see the Eight of Pentacles reversed. But eventually, you will love your job, whatever happens. Again, with Devil and Eight of Wands, right here, I'm seeing an addiction. And you need to open up about it. You need some intervention. I also see there's some kind of new idea or new feeling. I'm in love, perhaps. There may be some kind of corrupt organization or a job. I'm seeing the need to surrender for a higher good. Don't be the bubble boy. Don't be oblivious. Because the Empress used to be out of touch with reality, but now she's coming into reason. So I wouldn't be denying whatever it is you're denying. You may be in denial that you have a problem. Nine of Cups. So this is very greedy. I know it's the wish fulfillment, but this is super, super alcoholic. Right there next to the Devil. And the King of Cups reversed. So perhaps, okay, this is needing an end of grief to end this addiction, possibly with alcohol. And maybe something rises from the past. It's not a person, it's an old addiction. Alright, guys. Nine of Swords. Okay, so another 9 for King of Cups reversed and the Fool. We have a lack of self-acceptance, probably feeling guilty, but feeling like you're suffering in silence about this. I also see some traveling. And with the Nine of Cups, this is saying you call the shots. You decide when you do this and when you don't. And then we have 2 nines here talking about suffering some kind of excess in silence. I do see greed here and greed over here. So somebody be greedy. But greed is like gluttony. So it's again some kind of addiction. Somebody also may be embezzling money. And the Knight of Cups is usually somebody who has fancy tastes, but there's no budget or money. But he's in reverse. So it's like he has fancy taste, but now he has the money. And I'm wondering how he got it. And so he's suffering at night with everything that has been happening. This is somebody who can't be proud of their accomplishments if they didn't accomplish anything, for those of you who that's about. If it's love, you could be bored with love because your dates just aren't turning out right. And you're up late at night, sad that you're not getting invitations to go places. You're not getting new opportunities, and you're not creating anything. So some of you, it could be, again, you really want a baby, but it's not happening. That's the creativity, like the creating of a baby. I see a very, very sensitive soul here. But just because the Fool and the Nine of Cups are catty corner, I'm seeing your wish might get granted, but it's in a weird way. Or you just have beginner's luck when something happens. Seven of Cups, choose wisely. So I see somebody who's in denial. They have to make a decision. Could be about a divorce, could be about leaving an organization, could be about progress at work and having too much on your plate, like being overwhelmed. I see you have dating options and choices. It looks like it's not working out. None of them have long-term intentions. And so you don't really know what's best. Like, I feel like you're unable to get something you want. And I think it all depends on your choice. Because we do have Three of Wands here. It could have something to do with creativity, like writing, perhaps writing religious material. And with the Devil, I think you want to be self-employed. Yeah, you want to start a business of some sort. But it's just like more and more responsibilities get put on you and it's too much on your plate. And you have to choose if you leave or not. Okay. So you need to visualize that your goals are going to be met. You need to foresee it. Keep positive. And also see a temptation too. So you have a temptation to cheat because Three of Swords and Seven of Cups are here. And King of Cups is sexually promiscuous. And Knight of Cups it could be dating around too, because it's like it's deception, okay, which makes you into a fool, and you suffer in silence about it. I see somebody who doesn't really like themselves because of something they're doing. They're not proud of themselves, and they're having very shallow interactions with people when it comes to dates. So you try online dating. But there is some kind of potential. But I also see lust. Usually when I get Seven of Cups, I pull 2. Because it's something you're making a choice about, because it says choose wisely. So what are your choices, or what is it you're contemplating? Because maybe even you don't know. I doubt that. Well, now with Five of Cups and the Hierophant, yeah, I see you've lost your self-respect. So if you lost a job, possibly for not being sober, you don't have any self-respect. If you've lost a baby or perhaps even had an abortion, you don't have any self-respect. If you're not being recognized at work, you're kind of giving up. And if you have an addiction, I see you don't respect yourself. Sad, this is so sad. I can call you Sad Sag. 10 of Wands, yeah, you have a heavy burden. And the Hermit. You're trying to decide if you need to keep going with this heavy weight that's on you. He's also hiding his face. So he's still being deceptive in some way. He doesn't want to be seen doing it. And then we have the Hermit. This is withdrawing. This is assessing your love life. I also see learning a new language in a few of these cards. So maybe you need to learn a new way of being. And then with Seven of Cups, you may be finding people to have sex with on the internet. And I think you're married, and that may be something that's causing heartbreak. And if it's not you having the affair, which I think it is, because otherwise that Five of Cups would not be there. Well, it could go 2 ways, now that I think about that. If somebody's doing this to you, which I really feel it's you, then you're just suffering from it. Okay, so I was wondering when the Hermit would come out, because I thought it was already out, and then I realized it wasn't. I've been looking for it, all this time, because I keep thinking it's here. Well, with 8 of Wands, I do see some kind of electronic communication, also writing as well, some kind of spiritual introspection. Possibly, this is a very sober card. It says you need to moderate what you're doing, so you may go into rehab. And there is where you work on your underlying issue that's causing you to do this. I also see some kind of legal issue in business plans. So you may want to start your own business, but you just can't right now. I see you are going to gain a knowledge that you can share with people. And again, you want to have that carefree spirit, but right now you just can't. You want to be free though. I'm seeing that you've been keeping silent and suffering in silence. You'd be desperate for a job if you lost one. And you're just ready to change and transform your entire life. You're forming new philosophies. Yeah, you could be forming new philosophies. I know AA in particular has some kind of religious steps in it. This is you taking that mental pause, like going to rehab, and then you will harvest. And then with the Empress, this says it's going to be a long process, so take the time to do it right. You know, you have to plan, you have to sow, you have to nurture, and that's why the Empress is here in regards to some kind of addiction or temptation. Now, it doesn't have to be drinking. I also see a sexual addiction in here. But you're just assessing your life. You're taking some time out to pass through the darkness and confront everything. You be, seeking faith, seeking God and miracles. And you're seeing a therapist. So I see somebody going into rehab, or even, like I said, like a psych ward. I wasn't saying that for you guys, but it may actually be in here. And Three of Wands, I see embrace change. You want to be self-employed. So this could be going rogue, going on your own. We have a few going on your own cards. So there's a few things in here for a few people. Let's pull for love. In regards to love, what is Sagittarius's final outcome? A lack of a wedding, so broken marriage. I saw that already. Okay. In regards to losing a job, what's the final outcome? Stuck, indecisive. Pretending it's going to go away. Again, yeah, you need to take a pause out from this job that you've lost, because you have to address an underlying issue. And it's something you've been hiding. And you're going to have the courage to face the truth. And it's some kind of character flaw that's causing you to have, to be a sore loser. Like you're going home as a sore loser. But when I see twos, I pull. So your outcome's not over yet. Nine of Wands, don't give up. And also getting some spiritual strength, which we talked about. Nine of Pentacles. Very nice. So I'm seeing if you don't give up, you don't turn into a sore loser, you keep working hard, you're going to benefit financially. You'll be independent and self-sufficient, and you'll be making the money. I also see that you probably will be single, okay? Because it's somebody who's dating around and not settling down. But you're resilient, and also I see you'll have courage. And you're very close to your goal of that Ten of Swords, something that's going to be completed. Like the burden's too much and you're about to release it. And with the Eight of Pentacles, I see you're on some kind of learning curve. So you're going to have better outcome than what you were expecting, like with the Empress. But you've been avoiding some facts. You've been avoiding admitting it. You've been avoiding probably some kind of surgery for some of you. And then avoiding a marriage that's crumbling. And with Judgment, this is a need to have like a final cleansing of the relationship. There needs to be some kind of forgiveness or healing, especially in regards to the afterlife, coming to terms with your past and accepting your actions, getting freedom from isolation, and facing life realistically. And you're going to get some kind of liberation due to some beliefs that you get, some kind of new awareness. And when you're true, it's going to destroy anything false. So you're going to let go of false securities. For those whom this reading is about miscarriages, what is the final outcome? Just here for those of you who are having a new psychological, philosophical belief, this is you doing that. This is also a spiritual card too. Okay, so Six of Pentacles means that you will be compensated, especially with the Hierophant, for these losses. Also see somebody paying out money. So again, that can go for the marriage thing. So for those who are getting divorced, what is the final outcome? Okay, the Chariot, which is triumph. It's balance, but you're going to have to use a lot of willpower. These are the wheels for the Empress. So you may be buying an ex-wife a car. You have to really pay out. And then with Ace of Cups, I'm seeing possible career change. And with the Judge, you find your calling when you get divorced. So some of this is for everybody. With the Seven of Cups, I see you attain your dreams. But it also says, the Seven of Cups, which is an indulgent card, don't overindulge. This is also a moderation card. So we have lots of moderation, because this is being addicted to something. things that don't go anywhere. You need to take efforts to improve yourself. And again, I see providence stepping in. And when I see cutting out distractions to reach your goal, this is somebody who's leaving their life behind and going out kind of into the unknown where they're isolated. So again, I see going to rehab and I see travel, but you don't want to go. It reminds me of that song. They told me I had to go to rehab and I said, no, no, no. But it looks like you're going to go. And it'd be, you get some unanticipated generosity. Like somebody does help you out. You get some kind of assistance. And that could go for everybody in this reading. There's so many things in here for you guys. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed your reading. Let me know how it resonates for you in the comments below. Good luck.